What was the total? What was the total amount, basically?
400 and change.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the biggest state that has the most?
Probably Kentucky. Kentucky.
Yeah, probably Kentucky.
Indiana's right there, but probably Kentucky is the biggest.
Is that where it originated?
No. Well,
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati? Okay.
That's where it
Kentucky's really big.
Okay.
Indiana's right there with them.
Hold down. Lay back so your mic can get your voice. Edward, his start.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, it's still recording?
I'm always getting outtakes, though.
Yeah, because this is some. So I'm gonna go back again and ask this question. What's the biggest state that has the most cornhole individuals? People that are really playing cornhole.
It's everywhere right now. It's totally taken off, but I would say probably Kentucky would probably be one of the biggest states with the most players, and then Indiana is catching them quick if we not pass them up.
Yeah, right there.
I mean,
Who started
there.
cornhole? What state started cornhole?
Well, as far as
we know,
league wise, like the ACO started up. Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati around 2004, 2005.
Yeah, that's when it back started.
So are they the original founders of cornhole?
Technically, the original sanctioning body of competitive cornhole.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and then the ACL came along in the teens, 2011, 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of taking over the larger scope of professional
they got the TV
cornhole.
right, so it really made them take off.
They got the TV right.
Well, when they got ESPN to back them,
So yeah.
really
back up.
So originally,
ESPN backs the sport.
Oh yeah. So what you see on ESPN2 and all that,
yeah,
that's the ACL, which is the American Cornhole League. That has the most professional players. That league also has different divisions. So you have pro, you have open, you have advanced and competitive, social. So that's what you see on television. And they have major sponsorships like Bush's Baked Beans, like Johnsonville Brats, DraftKings. So like the professional cornhole players now, you can actually bet on outcomes of the games or players.
Where does our organization stand?
We're low.
Yeah, we're starting up now.
Okay.
So this is something I hope to eventually be at that level. My vision is, which they already do it in Texas, called a Texas Cornhole League. Kind of the same thing. It started within Texas, and now I believe it's 4 states.
It's 4 states.
Four states are involved in it now.
Really?
So watching what they did, and then now I recently saw that Idaho is starting up a cornhole league, which we're kind of got ICL, kind of just like we started. So more and more states are starting to take care of themselves and build it within their state. So what I can actually see is having state playoffs, you know what I mean? Like me and Jerry's been talking in Hitchcock, and we're thinking maybe like our top 25 players will get pro status in our league. And then maybe one of the perks of that, now you get a pro jersey and everything, is we'll build a team and we'll go to maybe Kentucky or another place, and that 25 will play their top 25 and kind of make it like that.
Is it possible to collaborate your organization with the pro leagues? I mean, their strength in numbers. I mean, it's almost like you guys they're the NFL and you guys are the training camp. So is there maybe a partnership, thinking about working with them along the way to get to the level that they're at, if they're already up here and you guys are climbing pretty high?
I don't see a partnership in getting involved with like ACO and ACL. I see more people wanting to save money and everything. So I see like the statewide growing, and then less people maybe doing the traveling and everything.
Yeah, so it's the same sport, but we're in a different lane. So the people that want to compete in ACO or ACL and have aspirations to become professionals in that area is fine. Ours is a little bit different. Ours is more geared towards local players that want to still have a high level of competition in whatever division they're in, but not have the expense of the travel from state to state for the different events like the larger organizations have.
But Rich, what about like Kyle? Like you talk about Kyle Brewer. What
Cole Brewer.
Cole? Is it Cole?
Yeah.
Cole.
What about him? Like, what's he?
Cole is sponsored by
He's
Ultra,
sponsored, right?
by Team Ultra. He has joined an ACL. He's been a top ACO player. Young man that plays the 317 area where we're at. But I mean, I don't want people to think that the competition's not going to be good, because Jerry himself was a top 40 player in the ACO league. T-Bone has been top 10 player in the ACO. So a lot of players that we have and that we will have in the ICL were top players in other leagues. But, you know, it's just choosing not to spend all that amount of money and still have the same level of competition for a 2-hour drive. Or
When we talk about a lot of money, how much money can a professional make?
Oh,
So
yeah,
top players in the ACL can earn upwards of 6 figures a year.
Really?
And that is, a majority of that is through bag sponsorships,
yeah.
marketing sponsorships, apparel.
How many shows does that person have to compete to get that kind of possible?
They have, generally, they have to establish their ability for an extended period of time. So they have to show that they're one of the top players in the nation. They have to earn their professional status in the ACL or ACO. A vast majority of players, even if they're pros in the ACL, still work 40-hour-a-week jobs. So you're talking there are 256 professional players in the ACL any given year, and then you have to re-earn your status year over year by where you finish in the standings or other objectives that you meet criteria. So out of those 256, there might be 5 to 10 that'll be pushing that 6 figures in sponsorship income. The rest of them, it might be $25,000. It may be enough just to cover travel expenses, but then they can also win money by their finishes in the events. So, and that's all determined on what the prize fund for that particular event is.
Okay.
So amongst
so
the
as you guys are growing, and I'm hearing it's going from state to state, so it's growing. So how fast of a pace is it growing? How diverse is the league from, let's say, race, women, children, social, economics, or whatever the case may be, and how accessible is the league for individuals?
As far as diverse, we have everyone that plays in it. 70-year-olds to 8-year-olds to any race colors. No,
all inclusive.
I mean, everything.
Literally all
everyone
inclusive.
plays.
Yeah.
So
Everyone
as long
plays.
as you have the $5 or $10 to sign up for a blind draw or something like that,
Yeah.
you can come out and play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
They got
literally all inclusive.
They got a guy they call Jamaica Mike.
Excuse me.
What's he got? The 7-foot dreads. Huh? I mean, you know, I've partnered up with
I
him
mean,
a few times. He
it's-
kicked me out
you know,
too.
It's awesome. Everyone gets together and everyone gets along. Everybody
Yeah.
plays. We,
Yep.
one
Let's
big
hit the-
family.
hit the stop on there, because I got to get ready for another show. I'm going to edit